Um, oh, to answer people's questions in there. Hi, by the way, if you're watching the recording, people were asking questions about me getting attacked by a cat, just so you know what we're talking about. So what the vet actually said was, so she just had a kitten 3 months ago. I know a lot of you guys know that, but some of you probably don't. She had a kitten about 3 months ago. The vet said she thinks that the cat just had like some psychological changes and became super paranoid. So they didn't really think the cat had rabies, but it was like a mandated examination because she attacked us the way that she did. So anyways, all right, so let's get down to actual business. Let's get down to business. Okay, so I wanted to call a meeting mostly because I know we are coming off a holiday weekend, and I want to make sure, first of all, I hope everybody had a wonderful 4th of July weekend. It's the beauty of our business that we can run a business and also have the freedom to celebrate and take time off when we want to take time off and all the things. But I don't want anybody's month to get derailed by the holiday being at the beginning of the month. I want us to all have this be the biggest month ever. We have Olympic cash this month, which I'm going to go over, but I finally got the reports. The last time we had a giveaway, or not a giveaway, an incentive like this was in December and January. I know a lot of you guys hadn't joined our team yet, but that's when we came over here. I joined in December, the end of December, and then a lot of the OGs on our team joined either that same night that I did or very shortly after. And we had Christmas cash going, which was very, very similar to this. Not the same, but similar. It exploded our business. It was one of the reasons we came in with so much momentum, because people were earning not only normal bonuses that are within our really, really great compensation plan, but extra money on top of that. And there was something in it for everyone, whether you were hitting the promotion or you had someone on your team hitting the promotion. And it was January was the biggest month of the entire 6 months that I've been here so far. So I want you guys to get back on track from the holiday ASAP, back on track from me being attacked by a cat. ASAP. I know that you guys didn't get attacked by a cat, but the nature of our business, right, is the speed of the leaders, the speed of the team. I was super MIA right after a holiday. So I just wanted to bring us all together, chit chat a bit, and go over some stuff. So let's talk about Olympic cash. If you don't know what Olympic cash is, it is this extra incentive that we have going on this month. Brooke Lloyd, who is a Ruby upline of ours, did an entire training on Olympic cash. And that video is put into our Q Mafia team page on Facebook. So if you feel like you're totally in the dark on Olympic cash, I want to be honorable of everybody's time, and we have a lot to cover. So I'm not going to go into all the nitty gritty details, but Brooke Lloyd did. And that video is on our Q Mafia page on Facebook. If you're not in that page yet, you should be. So go ahead and send me a private message or ask your direct upline as soon as we're off this call to add you in there. Olympic cash is extra money on top of all of our normal promotions. You're earning income extra for someone on your team hitting a first time promotion, or for you hitting a first time promotion. And just to give an example, for brand new people, typically when they go executive in their first 30 days, they earn $750. If they were to do that same exact thing this month with Olympic cash, they would earn over 1,000. So it is really, really a huge difference in the amount of money that people can bring in. And when you have months like this and you're able to get significantly more income into people's hands, this is really such a tool for our business, you guys, right? Like, people are not joining to work with Q for funsies. We are all here because we need the income to change our lives, right? We wouldn't be showing up. So many of you guys, your faces on here and your pictures have super, super packed plates. You already work full-time jobs, your students, your parents, we're busy. We're here because we need the income. So in a month like this, you just don't want to even risk not taking it. Like, don't take it for granted. Use every single second that we have. So, what is the key to these bonuses? The key to really utilizing the full capacity of Olympic cash is helping people hit promotions. I did a call for my personally sponsored at the very beginning of the month, so some of this is going to be repeat, but I want you guys to identify within your team, if it's not you, right? You might be brand new, and maybe I'm talking specifically to you, but I want you to look inside your team. Who can you get to builder? Who on your team? Maybe they need all 3 people to go builder. Maybe they just need 1. I want you to figure out, make a physical list. Your phone is great. It's a great tool, but in months like this, I want you to have a tangible visual to who you are helping get to their goals and how. So I want you to physically go into your organization and be like, okay, I have Mary. Mary needs 2 people to go builder. Write that down. Okay, I have Joe. Joe needs all 3 people to go builder. And then I have Kim, and she just needs 1 person to go builder. I want you to make that list. Who in your team can go pro, right? How many people are they going to need to get there? Who on your team can go executive? And then what I want you to do is go to these people, because here's the truth. The truth is, you could want everybody on your team to hit all of these fabulous promotions. But if they don't want to hit it, it's not going to happen. So you have to go to these people and you have to have the conversations. Hey, you're 2 people away from builder. I'm not sure if you saw that we announced these huge bonuses, but like, you can earn this much money. Tell them, you guys. Sometimes people signed up for this and then life happened. And so that excitement that they had when they first signed up, it fizzled out a little bit, right? And sometimes people just need the reminder of what a blessing this could be. Maybe they have no stinking clue what the heck Olympic cash even is. But if you are telling them, if you get 2 orders this month, you're going to earn this exact amount of money, that might relight their fire. Who on your team could go executive, you guys? That's a big one, especially if they are within their first full 30 days. So people who are within their executive time clock right now, this is people who joined in the month of June or in this first week of July. Those people are within their executive time clock. Those are the people that can be earning over $1,000 for going fast start executive in the month of July. That's a big chunk of cash, y'all. That is a big chunk of money. Be going to those people. That's what I want you to do. And I want you to make a tangible list, and you're getting a buy-in from every single one of them. We are not pulling dead bodies in this business. Okay, we're not. Like Jake Spencer said on one of our Q News the other week, he said, you could put a loud alarm clock in a cemetery and you're still not going to wake the dead. Okay. You're running with the people who want to work this business. Okay. We're not pulling dead weight to the finish line. It's going to slow you down. So go make your list and then go to each of those people on your list and get their buy-in. Are they here for it? Are they here to do the things, to follow the systems, to send the messages? If so, highlight them on your list. Those are the people you're running with this month, okay? I pulled reports in the month of January, which was the last time we had a big incentive like this going. We had over 200 people join our team, not Casey's overall team, our team, just the people underneath me. Over 200 people joined as either an ambassador or a customer in the month of January. That's a lot of stinking people, you guys. That is the power of this Olympic cash, okay? Any questions on Olympic cash? You can always drop it in the comments too if you don't want to unmute, and I'll make sure I go through at the end and answer any questions. Okay, so moving on. So that's talking about Olympic cash. Also, your own goal is going to unlock Olympic cash for you. So I want you to set your own personal expectations. How many people or how much volume, if you're going for a higher rank, do you need to hit that next promotion? Okay. Goal setting is something that you should get in a habit of doing at the beginning of every single month when you're talking about this business. I really love the saying of maybe I don't love the saying because now I can't remember it. Basically, how the heck are you going to get to your goal if you don't know what your goal is, right? You need to have a map. You need to know what your destination is going to be. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to arrive because you don't know where the heck you're going. Okay. So I want you to figure out what your game plan is for July. These are for new lifetime bonuses. So that means if you're someone who already hit Builder, Pro, and Executive, you're going for that next promotion. Now, listen to me really quick. If you're someone who's on this call, you're like, I just hit Elite last month and I'm trying to go for Bronze. That's a big jump. It's okay if that jump is not the most realistic thing on paper. I still want you to know what you need to get there. Okay. It's going to be an eye opener for you to maybe say, okay, I need this many orders, and maybe all of those orders aren't super realistic this month, but I could aim to get halfway there and do the second half next month. And you know what? It's okay if you personally are not getting your Olympic cash for that bigger promotion, because you're going to be diving into your organization like a killer leader that you are and helping all your other people get that Olympic cash, and you're still going to get those bonuses. But I do want you to identify what your personal goal is and how many people you need to get there. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can do this. One of the ways that I like to ballpark it is by seeing just where you ended last month, which is really easy to do. You can log into your back office. There's that square that has all the little black squares and numbers in it, and you can click over to last month and you can see exactly where you ended at the end of June. And what I want you to do is figure out what's the difference? Where did you end last month? Where are you trying to go this month? And what's the difference in between? Because that's what you're going to be trying to accomplish this month, okay? How many messages do you need to send each day to get there? Okay? I'm never going to sugarcoat things, you guys. If you're sitting on this call and you have some kind of a goal, but you're not sending messages each day, you are not getting to that goal. Okay? I'm just going to pop the bubble right now. You have to be doing your own daily work. The leaders who pour 100% into their team and forget about themselves actually aren't good leaders, right? Leaders lead by example, and leaders will lead themselves first. And we're going to end this call talking more about that. So, as a good leader, you need to set the example of what working your business looks like. So you need to know where you're going. Now, my rule of thumb for this is however many orders you're trying to add in a month, you should double that number, and that's your daily message number. Okay, so as an example, you're trying to add 3 new ambassadors this month. That's an awesome goal. I feel like 3 is kind of a magic number for continuously moving your business forward. If you're trying to add 3 new ambassadors this month, you should be sending 6 business reach outs a day, right? They're numbers. It's a numbers game, you guys. The more people that you're reaching out to and messaging, you're giving yourself a higher chance of getting a yes. Because let's be honest, you're going to get mostly no's. Most of the messages you send out are going to get ghosted. You're going to get told no. The conversation's going to fizzle out. They're not going to pull the trigger. They're going to have excuses. There's going to be a reason why it's not the right time, right? That's all very normal, by the way. If that's happening to you, that's normal. I send lots and lots and lots of messages out every single week. And a majority, like 90% of the responses or the outcome from those messages is no, not yet. I'm not interested. I'm not ready. Okay. So it's a numbers game. If you want to add 3 people this month, let's double that. That's 6 messages a day. Okay. Now you can do that for any size goal. I've had months working in network marketing where I was like, I'm trying to add 10 people. So I'm trying to send out 20 messages a day. Okay, now that's hard. You might not hit 20 messages every single day, but if you're setting that goal, you at least kind of know what you need to do in order to give yourself the best chance of getting there. Okay. Who are you holding accountable this month to do the same thing with you? That's going to be those people that you highlighted, right? Remember, you're going to go into your organization. You're going to see who on my team can I help get to these different goals, builder, pro, executive, especially. How many people do they need? Are they going to double that number and send those daily messages with you? Are they all in? This is part of the buy-in process. They are buying in to you holding them accountable, because you're going to hold yourself accountable too, right? That's what leaders do. We hold ourselves accountable, and then we bring people along with us. So I want you to identify who are you also holding accountable to do this same thing with, this daily IPA. IPA stands for income producing activities. Okay. And then lastly, with setting your personal expectations is, are you following a schedule for social media posting? Okay. What came first, the chicken or the egg, right? What came first, the message or the social media content? It's like the same thing. You really can't have one without the other. And you have to have some kind of consistency with this. If you are sending messages, but you don't have any content on your social media at all about what the heck you're talking about in your message, they're probably not going to be fruitful. If you're posting fire content on social media, but you're not following through with messages, it's probably not going to be fruitful. You really have to have both pieces to the puzzle. So if you are someone who struggles with this, right? You're like, oh, it's just so hard for me to figure out, what am I putting on social media this day? Who am I sending messages to? I worked with Mary Jane earlier this month and we worked out a schedule. I actually made that schedule into a graphic and it is now in the files section of the Q Mafia page. So if you go onto Facebook, you go into the Q Mafia page and you click on files, there is a file, I believe it's called Instagram posting schedule or Instagram homework, something like that. And it literally breaks down Monday through Saturday of a schedule. And this is not some kind of crazy schedule. You could follow this schedule and be doing an hour a day. Like if you're a person who came in with the bare minimum of working this 5 to 7 hours a week, you can still follow this schedule. It's really meant for everyone. And basically what it involves is daily social media content that you're putting up, and then messages that you're sending from the previous day's content. So you're always giving yourself new people to reach out to because you're doing social media content and then you're messaging the people from the previous day's social media content. And then the next day you're putting up new social media content and you're messaging the people from the previous day's social media content. And you just get yourself in a groove. Consistency is the secret sauce to this business. It's not talent. It's not people who are saying something that you're not saying. It's not people that are doing something necessarily even that you're not doing. It's consistency. If you're consistent in sending messages every day and getting something up on social media every day and following up with people every single day, consistency is what builds strong, successful network marketing businesses, right? And honestly, that is the same thing as a 9 to 5, right? If someone worked a 9 to 5, but then they weren't actually consistent in showing up to work every day, guess who probably wouldn't have a job for very long? That person. They wouldn't have that 9 to 5. They would get fired. So you are your own boss. You're probably not going to fire yourself, but you still have to hold yourself accountable to consistency. Just as if you had a 9 to 5, your boss would be expecting you to show up every day to work said 9 to 5. Okay. So have a schedule if you need a schedule. Any questions on setting personal expectations, daily messages, accountability, schedules, anything like that? Okay, feel free to drop it in the comments. Okay, I want you to plug in. I want you to make sure you're plugged in, you guys. This is a unique setting, right? There is a lot of discipline that comes with working in network marketing because you're a business owner. A really great way to make the discipline of this a little bit easier is to make sure that you're part of a community. We have a lot of different options for that here. A few things I want you to make sure you do is I want you to make sure you're plugged into the Q Mafia team page on Facebook. I've said it like 5 times already tonight. I want you to make sure you're in that page and I want you to make sure your notifications are turned on for it. You need to have the notifications on. We are always putting in tools into that page, daily events, like any training for the most part. There might be a few that slip through the cracks, you guys, because there's so many people working this business. But the majority of training calls, events, op calls, we're putting them in the event section of Q Mafia. And I mass invite everyone. Anytime I upload an event into that page, I invite all in the Q Mafia page, which means all almost 400 people who are in that page are getting the notification for the invite to whatever that event is. So make sure you're plugged in there. That's going to be the easiest way. Like if you check that page once a day, it's going to be harder for you to not be a part of things because you're going to know everything that's going on. Okay, plug in. You also need to make sure you're plugged into at least one team chat somewhere. Listen when I tell you, you have dozens of options. Okay, every single one of you on this call tonight, we have team chats for everyone. Marissa, Mary Jane, Shelby, Ansley, Rachel, Jen, me, Karina, like all of the leaders who are pretty much like bronze and above or elite, like they have team chats. Then we also have the main Q Mafia team chat. We have the BPE team chat, which is for builder, pro, and executive. So people who are going for those first 3 ranks. And then we have the July momentum chat, which is for people who are like real serious about running for the month of July. Now, BPE and the July momentum chat, those 2 chats are very high paced and do have requirements for being a part of them, but the rest of them do not have requirements, and there's still a lot of activity that goes on in them for you to be able to be plugged into a community with other people who are working this business. I know that sounds cheesy. Community, though, is so huge when you're talking about this. There's actually a lot of people who join network marketing for the community. So make sure you're plugged in. Everybody else who's working this business, we are all doing the same thing with trying to have the self-discipline, trying to make sure we're showing up consistently, holding ourselves and other people accountable. Like-minded people being together creates success. Okay. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So spend time with motivated people. Spend time with successful people. Spend time with people who are doing the things that you want to do. Spend time with people who have already accomplished those things that you want to do. That's all very, very important. And once you're in those team pages, make sure you're utilizing them. You guys, I'm gonna be honest with you for a second. Looky-loos are like nails on a chalkboard for me. When I look in chats and I see 27 people have been active in this chat in the last 2 hours and 1 person has said something, I'm like, oh my God. Participate in the chats. Be a part of the chats. The people that you add into that chat, guess what? If you're not active in the chat, they're not gonna be active in the chat. If you're not voting in the polls that are put in chat, they ain't going to be voting in the polls put in the chat. If you're not shouting out wins in the chat, nobody else is going to shout out wins in the chat. Be in the chats and participate. That's why I'm saying pick one. You don't need to be a part of all of them. You don't need to be active in all of them. That's a lot of work, trust me, because I do it. But pick one and be active in the one. Be a part of that chat. Contribute to it. Shout out your own dang wins. Brag on yourself, okay? This is an environment to do that. Nobody thinks you're vain. Nobody thinks you're full of yourself. Your accomplishments, your success, it's inspiring. The chats that I have been in, where people are in there like, yes, so-and-so just got an order. I just enrolled a newbie. This just happened. This just happened. I'm going to convention. I'm doing this. Those are the chats where the people are like on fuego. Like the month is just exploding because 2 things happen. People get inspired and people get healthy levels of competition. Okay? You're one of the 2 people. You're either the person who gets really inspired by other people achieving things, which I think is so awesome, or you're like me and you're really competitive. I'm competitive, right? If you guys are in those chats and you're like, I just enrolled a newbie and me as a leader hasn't enrolled a newbie, I'm like, well, what the heck? Like, they can't be enrolling newbies if I'm not enrolling newbies. Like, I got to keep up with my people. Healthy levels of competition. So be in there, brag on yourself, brag on your people. That one is huge. Recognition. If you had a ticket to our NorCal regional, I talked about this actually. Recognition is massive, you guys, huge. People who are recognized for the things that they're doing are going to do more of those things that they got recognized for. Okay. It sounds silly, but like the basic level of parenting where we know our kid just went pee on the potty and we want them to keep going pee on the potty. So we make a huge deal out of going pee on the potty. Guess what? I'm 28 years old. And if you're going to congratulate me for doing really simple things like going pee on the potty, I like that. Okay. That's silly. That sounds silly, but humans like being recognized for the hard work and the things that they accomplish. So recognize your people. Even if you have 1 person on your team, when that person does something, when they send out messages, when they put up their first post, when they speak on an op call, when they host their first Fab Five, when they have you host their Fab Five, whatever it is, congratulate them, shout them out, and encourage them more. It's going to spark inspiration and healthy levels of competition, and it's going to encourage that person to continue doing those same things. When we go unnoticed, right? Like I know there's men on this call, but I'm going to talk about being a wife. When I'm like cleaning the whole house and I feel like nobody saw me clean the whole house, I'm like, why do I even do this? This is so pointless. Nobody even cares. I'm just cleaning the house all the time. Nobody even cares if it's clean. But if my husband's like, oh my gosh, babe, dinner was so good tonight, I'm like, okay, I'm going to cook you a homemade dinner tomorrow too. You like that? Okay. Yeah. You see those lines on the carpet? I know. Like, you want to be encouraged for the things that you're doing. So do it for other people. Any questions on that, on plugging in? Does anybody have questions on team chats, group pages, shout outs, anything of that topic? Okay, moving on. Show up now instead of later. You guys are already doing this because it is the 6th of the month and you're on this call right after a holiday weekend. You guys, the 25 of you in here, you're already showing up sooner than later, but I don't want you to stop doing that. Okay. Nobody is going to hunt you down and make you show up to do work here. Okay. We just don't have time for it. I wish I could. I wish I had time to track everybody down, but I don't. And honestly, I don't even want those people on my team. If I have to get into people's chats multiple times a week and be like, hey, just checking in. Are we working today? Hey, just checking in. What are we accomplishing this week? Those are not the people you want on your team, you guys. You want people who are getting into their own chats, being like, hey, Mandy, what am I doing here? Hey, Angela, can you help me with this? Hey, Rachel, what's happening here? Hey, Jessica, or when's that op call? You want those people. You want the self-starters. So if you want those people on your team, you have to be that person first. So show up sooner rather than later. I'm also going to tell you there's this thing that happens in network marketing. People get real sleepy the first half of the month. And then all of a sudden, something happens on the 15th of every month, and people decide that all of a sudden they're awake now and they're going to work super hard. And they like run super hard the last 2 weeks of the month. And a lot of people accomplish a lot of things in those 2 weeks. Every single time I see that happen though, I always think, dang, how much would you have accomplished though if you would have done that from the first of the month? Like, you just did so much in 2 weeks, but what if you were doing that for 4 weeks, homie? What if you had double the amount of time? Would you have hit double the amount of success, double the amount of goals? Would you have gone above and beyond your goal? Would you have hit a new promotion if you would have showed up on the 1st instead of the 15th? Right? You also have less stress. A lot of times, right? We have all of our subscriptions go out by the 15th. Everybody should have an auto ship that goes out by the 15th. And then on the 15th, we look at our numbers and we're like, oh, dang, we need like 7 orders to re-rank, or we need 5 orders to re-rank. And then people are in panic mode. But if you were proactive, you might have just re-ranked by the 15th. You wouldn't have even had to stress about it. You would have hit the 15th, you would have re-ranked, and then you would have had the rest of the month to move forward. So be proactive. Don't be someone who's trying to like chase their own tail. Lead the pack, start the month strong, learn how to work your month from the 1st through the 30th without burnout. Learn how to rest instead of quit. The people who push really hard through the last day of the month, this is how my business at my last company worked. This is what people did. The 15th through the 30th, we killed ourselves. And then the 1st of the month happened and we were all exhausted. And we were like, we need 2 weeks off because we just worked so hard the 15th through the 30th. Like, now we can't do it again for the 1st through the 15th. But if you learn how to pace yourself to be able to work the 1st through the 30th and take Sundays off, or take 3 days off to go out of town, or take a half day, or whatever you need throughout those 30 days, you're going to have a healthier business. You're going to be setting a better example, and you're not going to burn yourself out. You're just going to learn how to pace yourself. Okay, because this is a long-term game. Network marketing is not a sprint, y'all. It is a marathon. It is a marathon. If you think you're going to be someone in here hitting black diamond in 6 months, I really hope you are, but I also really hope you know that is likely not going to be the case. But if you're someone who can learn how to pace yourself, you might hit black diamond in 5 years. Black diamond is like $120,000 a month, guys. Like, most people are not ever making that amount of money. So if you can learn how to pace yourself now, what could you accomplish in 10 years of pacing yourself that you would literally never be able to accomplish in any other industry but network marketing? Pace yourself. It is a marathon, not a race. Being blunt. I think I already said this. Oh, okay. You need to let yourself be known. Okay, I already kind of said this, but I can't hunt everybody down. So you need to make sure you're utilizing all of the things that we have. If you're sitting on this call and you're like, okay, I really want to go somewhere this month because last month I just felt like it was slow, or last month I didn't hit my goal, or this or that or the other, I want you to be for real with yourself. Real, come to Jesus moment, whatever you want to call it. Are you actually taking advantage of all the trainings? Are you on these trainings? When we're putting all the events up and there's trainings on things, I'm not talking about every single one. I know there's lots of them, but are you at least on a training a week? Be honest. Are you really? Are you inviting people to Zoom calls for opportunities? Are you actually? Are you getting on opportunity calls with people when they're up and posted? Because we have options for them every single night of the week. So are you taking advantage of that? Are you taking advantage of like one-on-one Zooms? We have a lot of leaders, even specifically just on our team, who offer up opportunities for like one-on-one Zooms or small session Zooms. I know for sure myself, Mary Jane, and Marissa Winterton all do this. So there's probably more of you. If I'm not mentioning you, I'm sorry. Are you taking people up on that opportunity to get on those Zoom calls and have them look over your specific business with you? Katie on our larger team, Katie Williams, she also does this. She has this on her team page. She offers up 15-minute sessions. She's a Ruby ambassador and she offers up 15-minute free sessions to go through your business one-on-one. Are you taking people up on that? Are you using all the systems that we have? Right? I just put a document up also in the Q Mafia team page under files. It is beginner's guide to Q Mafia or beginner's guide to Q. Sorry, I forget all the names, but it's a beginner's guide. And in that beginner's guide, I go over all of our systems in exact order of new people of which they should be using them. And guess what? The system that you work the first week of your month in this business, the very first week you're ever in this business, the system that you use in that week, that's the system you also use when you've been in this business for 5 years. It's the same system. It's just about consistency. Are you using the system? Are you? Are you doing the screenshots? Are you doing some form of a three-way chat, three-way call, three-way Zoom call, three-way phone call? Are you doing the systems? Are you sending the messages? I want you to make sure you're asking all of those questions and you're not just getting on Instagram and scrolling through reels feeling like you're working. Are you asking for help? If you're doing all the things, right? You're asking yourself these questions. You're like, yes, I am showing up for trainings. Yes, I am taking up opportunities for Zoom calls. Yes, I am utilizing all of the systems, but you're still not moving. Are you asking for help? And I'm not talking about just asking me for help, right? I know I have a lot of like people. And so sometimes it's not possible for me to help everyone. So are you going to your upline first and then their upline and then bringing me in if you need to bring me in? Are you asking for help? Going to them and saying, hey, I'm doing these things and I feel like it's not working. Because maybe you're doing the things, but an outsider's eye would be like, you know what? Try this differently and see if that would work. You know who's really stinking good at this is Carolina. Just bragging on her for a second. She does a really great job of this. So does Jessica. When they feel like something could be tweaked a bit, I get messages from them often being like, hey, okay, what do you think about this? Or could you help me out with this? Mary Jane's the same way. Are you doing that? And then finally, are you doing action steps? Are you taking action steps in your business? Again, action steps versus just scrolling on social media, feeling like you're working. I know we have a lot of new people on our team, so let's talk about back to basics. What are action steps? There are 3 main things that are actual action steps that are going to move the needle in your business. It's daily messages, it's daily follow up with people that you've already messaged, and it's inviting people to opportunity calls. If you're not doing those things each day, that is probably why your business is not growing. Okay? For anyone who would come to me and be like, I just feel like my business is not growing, that's the first thing I would ask. Are you sending messages every day? How many messages? What do they look like? What are you saying? Are you following up with the people? Follow up takes being organized, right? Which means if you've sent information to people, you got to have their name on a list. If you've invited them to an op call, if you've sent them information, if you've had a conversation about the business at all, they should be on a list so that you have a proper organized list of people to follow up with. And lastly, Are you inviting people to opportunity calls? Recorded calls, you guys, are great for people who cannot make the live call that you invited them to. But if you are just going straight in to the pre-recorded call, it probably is why you are not getting people signed up. There is a difference. It hits different, you guys. When people are watching a live call of someone actually presenting in real time, talking to them, opening up for them to ask them questions on the spot, that hits different. It's why we do them. If the recorded calls were just as effective as the live ones, we would all just film one recording, and that would be the one recording we would send to everyone, right? We don't. We have live calls weekly, Fab Five calls often, because the live calls hit different. So your action steps, daily action steps, daily IPA, daily messages, follow up, inviting to opportunity calls. Are you doing those things each day? Okay, this is me just being blunt with you. You guys know, if you've been on any of my calls, I don't sugarcoat things. I'm not going to lie to you and make you feel all happy-go-lucky about your business not moving. If your business isn't moving, most likely it's because you're not doing those things. If you feel like you're doing those things and your business isn't moving, let's have a talk. Sometimes I feel like we think we're doing the things, but we're not really doing the things. Tara Truax has an accountability group that she runs almost monthly. And Mary Jane and I actually talked about this on her call. She said she's so glad she did that accountability because she didn't realize how many things she wasn't doing. You can feel like you're doing the things, but if your business isn't moving, honest to God, I've been doing this long enough to know and watch so many different people's businesses. The people who are actually doing the things, their business is growing. Their business is growing. We work with an amazing company that has products for literally everyone and a compensation plan that does not have a solid competitor out there. If you're actually doing the work, your business is growing. It might not be growing at lightning speed, but it's growing. So make sure you're being honest with yourself that you're really doing those things. If you want to make money this month, you're going to be doing this every day, and you're going to be holding your people accountable who are here for it to do it every day. I want you to give yourself permission right now to let go of dead weight. If you have to go into someone's chat 3 times and send them messages 3 times and see that they've opened that message and they haven't responded to you once, first of all, that's rude. Second of all, stop dragging the dead weight. Okay, move on, bless and release. They might come back later. They might maybe have just, I don't know, maybe they have some personal stuff. Maybe they got attacked by a cat last night. You really never know, right? Give people the benefit of the doubt. But we're not going to try and drag dead weight and wake the dead from their graves. We're just not doing it. We're running with the people that are running. And if people aren't running, we move on. This happens to me a lot, you guys. I recruit a large amount of people. And so it's often that I sign somebody up who I vetted them. I went through all the vetting questions. And then for whatever reason, they stop responding, or they're not showing up to any of the calls, or they're just not using the systems. I only check in with people so many times before I'm like, I'm sorry. I can't drag your dead weight. I can't. My business isn't going to move forward if I'm just trying to drag a bunch of dead weight. Some of your guys' chats that I'm in, I'm seeing you try so hard because I know you have good hearts and you want this for people. You want people to see the financial blessings of this, but some of you are going back and back and back to messages where people are literally not even responding to you. They're being rude. They're not even responding. Bless and release, move on. Okay. If you have to check on someone multiple times in a week and they can't even do the courtesy of telling you, hey, something personal is going on, we move along. Again, that's not to be like an asshole. That's just because this is a business, right? We're not doing charity work. You guys are not here working for free. We're here to run with the people who are here to run. If you want to check on that person as a friend and pray for them and send them blessings, like, you do that, but do not be trying to show up and drag dead weight in your business. You will not make it to the top. You have to learn how to bless and release people and find the few that are going to run with you. Okay, so let's kind of dive a little bit more into that. We're going to talk about a leader. Okay, who is a leader? I wrote a few things out. The leader is someone who finds the answers. They do not just wait for them. They find the answers, okay? I'm going to brag on our team for a little bit, okay? Now, we're not perfect. Casey and I are not perfect. If anything, I feel like we're a great example of like, the heck, if we can do this, anyone can do this. We're not perfect, okay? But the teams that we were on at our previous company did not have any of this. We did not get any systems. We did not get any help. Ain't nobody was doing screenshot method with us. Nobody was giving us examples of messages to send. Nobody was working on voice memos with us. I did not get to 6-figure income level in my last business by anyone holding my hand. Now, I'm not bragging on myself saying that. What I'm saying is I had to go find the answers for myself, or I was just not going to get them because nobody was even offering them up to me. We have a really phenomenal team where we do handhold because there's value in that. And a good leader is going to mentor their people, but leaders lead themselves first. So a true leader is going to go and they're going to try and find that answer first. I message Brittany Hitch often. I really do. I message her often for things, but only if I have exhausted every other avenue first and I still can't find the answer. I go to Casey, I'll go to Katie Williams, I'll text Kelly Allred, I'll look through all the freaking 97 different team pages that I'm in. And if I can't find the answer, I have no shame in texting Brittany and asking her. And she always responds to me for the most part, unless she's super busy, which she is, because she knows I'm not coming to her unless I've gone to find the answer for myself first and not been able to find it. So make sure that you're also that person. Lead yourself first. Leaders are someone who's going to look to find the answers. They're not just going to wait for someone to give to them. In the same way, a leader is someone who wants to learn to fish for themselves so they can create abundance instead of being given a fish, which creates dependence. Leaders want abundance, not dependence. A leader is going to learn to create abundance in their business. They want to learn how to get customers, how to get ambassadors, and be able to do it on themselves, by themselves, without someone else's help. I can always tell a leader in my business when they start messaging me asking if they can do things for themselves. Hey, so when am I going to do goal calls for my people? Another shout out to Jessica because she does this very often. She's always messaging me asking to do the next thing for her people on her own. That's what a leader does because they don't want to have to wait on me. Sometimes, you guys, I'm a slow person to wait on, not because I'm trying to leave you guys hanging, but because I have a lot of messages, right? And so I'm trying my hardest. Hey, you guys, I'm on a work call. You cannot be in here. Go ask daddy. Go ask daddy. I have a lot of messages. I have a lot of stuff that I have to get to. So sometimes I'm slow. I can always tell a good leader because they don't wait around. A lot of times they come back to their chats and they'll say things to me like, don't worry, I already got the answer, right? Mary Jane's the queen of this. She'll ask me stuff. Then I come back to answer it and she'll be like, I found it. Don't worry about it. Okay, that's a leader. They want to create abundance, not dependence. They're not waiting to be dependent on their upline because that's only going to get you so far, right? A leader sets their own alarms, they hold themselves accountable to show up, and they inspire other people to do the same thing. My calendar is redonkulous. I have to set alarms for myself all the stinking time because otherwise I forget all these different calls and I forget that things are happening and I accidentally double book myself. Now, again, I'm not perfect. I forget stuff often. And I've been known, I double booked a training tonight, right? Sorry if you're trying to be on Jake's call and Kelly's call. They got double booked. We drop the ball sometimes, right? But I'm always trying to be on top of it however I can. I don't wait for a bunch of other people to have to remind me of the things that are going on. Now, it's okay to know where your weakness is, right? Some of you guys know I'm really big on you stay organized with your business. If you're putting me in three-way chats, please make sure you have a list of the three-way chats that I'm in because it's literally not possible for me to keep track of all the three-way chats that I'm in. That's me knowing my limits, right? As a leader, you want to be able to hold yourself accountable, though. That's mainly what that is. A leader is also organized, right? They have some form of organization. Now, you can be an unorganized person who still tries their best to stay organized, but a leader is going to do something to organize their business. right? They're going to have a daily list that they're accomplishing. They're going to have a calendar. They're going to have a planner. You have to. Let's be honest. If you're trying to get to a high level in this business, let me just tell you, you get to a certain level where it is just like daily, you're a chaos coordinator. That's literally what you are at a certain point, okay? And it happens sooner rather than later. So learn to be organized. That is what you're going to need if you want to be a strong leader in this business. A leader makes sacrifices that they know will get them and their team ahead in the long run. Okay. So great example for summertime, right? Summertime of 2021, when things are back open, we get to be back around people. We could find an event for every day of the week to go to and have a good time. A leader knows sometimes you have to have short stints of sacrifice in order to get to where you want to go long term, right? I know I will not work 6 days a week my whole life. Absolutely not. I also know I am going to work 6 days a week for the most part right now, probably for another year or two, because I want to get my business to at least the platinum level. And that's probably how long it's going to take me. May I do it faster? Do I want to hit platinum by the end of this year? Yeah. Who doesn't? You guys all want to hit platinum by the end of this year too. But I know I'm probably going to have to make sacrifices short term in this next year or two if I really want to get there and stay there long term. So figure out where are your sacrifices. I always talk about the beginning of when I started working network marketing. I gave up TV. The 6 months that it took me to go from making two-ish thousand dollars a month to $8-ish thousand a month, I literally did not watch TV. I was so behind by the time I got there because every single night, instead of doing what I enjoy doing, which is going and laying in bed with my husband and binge watching Netflix, I told my husband, I need buy-in from you because I'm not doing that. I'm going to sit my butt on the couch in the living room and I'm going to work until 9 o'clock at night, because I put my kids down and then I was giving myself 2 hours of work time. Karina knows this because she was on my team when all of that was happening. I worked late nights every night for 6 months to make that big jump in my business. I sacrificed. I gave up TV pretty much. Karina, 24/7. I worked my ass off, you guys, for real. The people you see winning big, just so you know, and I love that this company is so honest about this. Jake Spencer has said, the people that you see at Black Diamond, those people work their freaking butts off. If you think they're getting there working less than full time, if not more, you are living in a fantasy. It is not an easy task to be really successful, make 6 figures a year, or gosh dang 6 figures a month without the sacrifice. So identify that in yourself. Where can you make small sacrifices? You don't have to give up Christmas with your family. We're not asking you to skip birthday parties or weddings or births or anything insane like that. But it's the little sacrifices. You can add so much extra time to your day by finding little sacrifices. The leader has a pack. A leader has a pack. Yes, a leader leads themselves, but a leader finds a pack. A pack is power, right? A pack is power. If you can figure out who your pack is, your wolf pack in network marketing, you are going to grow this business larger much quicker than someone else who's trying to be solo Sally. Okay. Solo Sally, she is not making 6 figures a year. Let me just tell you. If she is, she's not sleeping because it's not possible to do by yourself. We work in a business where having a pack, community, working as a team, teamwork literally makes the dream work in this business. If you want to make the dream work, you got to find your pack. They want many people to win, not just them. Not just them. If you're looking at the month like, I want to be gold. So how am I going to be gold? What am I doing to get myself gold? That's, first of all, you might make that happen, but it's probably not going to be easy. It's easier, maybe not faster, but it's easier and it's more rewarding to go into your team and figure out, who can I help get to this level? Who can I help make that bonus? Who can I help get to that next level in their business? That's a leader. A leader has the pack. The pack sometimes comes before you. They understand that the more people that they get to win is going to create success for themselves. A leader has a pack and they serve that pack. Okay. Now they're not forgetting about themselves, The leader of the wolf pack is still drinking water and eating food and sleeping, right? You can't put yourself completely on the back burner, but you can be a servant leader of your pack. And lastly, the leader hands themselves a paycheck. A leader looks at this business as the opportunity to hand themselves a paycheck, right? If you didn't want to be in control of your own paycheck, you'd be at a 9 to 5. If you were at a 9 to 5 and you didn't want to give yourself a paycheck, you wouldn't be doing this in the evenings after work, right? A leader wants to hand themselves a paycheck. They see the ability to do that in this business model. Okay. I put down use Casey and I as an example, but honestly, I don't know what I was saying there. So we're going to move along from that. Last topic, and then we're going to get off. I might go a few minutes over. If you have to get off, that's fine. Convention. Hi, welcome back to another episode of We're going to talk about convention tonight. If you haven't picked it up yet, convention is super important. You guys. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but also here comes the club, because you should be at convention, okay? You should be at convention. If you're really wanting to see this business move for you, you will be with your butt in the seat at convention. I can't stress it enough. And if you've never been to a convention, I sound like psycho. I sound like a psycho. Like, why is this one event so important, Mandy? I don't get it, Mandy. Why do I have to be there, Mandy? You should be at convention. It's very, very important. It's gonna move your business forward. Also, you getting people to convention with you is key. Okay, so there was something that went around. There's a post. I believe it's in Q Mafia. I know it's in like Brittany's pages. I think it was Jake who broke down numbers. It was Jake who broke down numbers for Fran. He was like, if people want to be gold, they should have this many people at convention. If people want to be platinum, they should have this many people at convention. And I was looking at that list like, okay, but what about the people trying to go elite? What about the people trying to go bronze? They weren't on that list. So I did math for you. You're welcome. That's not my strong suit. But I figured out like, okay, if you need this many people at convention because you're trying to be silver, let's figure out what it would be for elite. So if you're someone who's trying to go elite, first of all, a leader leads themselves first and they set the example. Oh, thank you, Galaxy S10, about the Fab 5K. I'm going to talk fast now. If you're trying to be elite, you should have roughly about 13 to 15 people going to convention with you. 5 in one leg, 5 in one leg, 3 in another leg. Or if you're working a 2-leg business, then it should be about, oh gosh, I'm not good at math here, about 7 and 7. If you have 2 legs, 7 people in one leg, 7 in the other, going to convention with you, that's going to be a strong ticket to elite. If you're trying to be bronze, that looks like about 25 people going to convention with you. Now, that doesn't mean you're already bronze. That means you're trying to go bronze. That's 10 people in one leg, 10 people in another leg, 5 people in your small leg, or about 13 people in each leg if you're running a 2-leg business going to convention with you. Okay, so who's coming to convention with you? You don't want to go by yourself, you guys. I'm trying to have 100 people on our team at convention. I'm trying to represent with that triple digits at convention. We already have like over 60 on our team who are going. Where's our other 40 coming from? Where's your 8, 10, 15, 25? Where are your people? You want them to be at convention. There is no virtual option. They will not be hearing the things that were at convention anywhere else. I don't even know if it's getting recorded. It is an if you're in the room, you're in the room. If you know type in an event, and you don't want to miss it. The people who attended convention with us in February, all of them have hit promotions at this point. Everyone has hit promotions at this point who was in the room with us on convention. You want to have your ticket to be there. Okay. It's an investment in your business. You're going to buy the ticket. It's going to be a tax write-off. You're going to have your flight. It's going to be a tax write-off. You're going to cram yourself into a hotel room with as many people as you need to make it affordable for yourself. It's a tax write-off. Be in the room. Don't miss convention. You hear all of the leaders in this business talking about it so much because we have experienced it and we do now know how important it is. Leaders are born at events. I have heard that saying and said that saying the entire 3.5+ years I've been in this business because it's true. Okay, it's true. Leaders are born at events. The people who show up at these events will be the people who stick around in your business. They'll be the people who find success in the business. They'll be the people who leave inspired and on fire for this business. We get fabulous training, you guys. It's fabulous. I have paid for training in this industry, like other webinars, seminars, stuff like this. I've never gotten the training that I've gotten from Q. Truly, I mean that. I'm not just saying that to like blow smoke up your butt. You know, I'm a blunt person. I've never gotten the kind of training that I've gotten in this business. So make sure you have your convention ticket. With that, I'm going to end. I recorded this. We have an op call in 2 minutes. So if you have someone coming tonight to hear about Q, make sure you hop on at 8 o'clock, and I will see you guys then. Goodbye.